I mean, ever since Dynamic came into Call of Duty, I mean...
Dynamic is a response curve.
Dynamic, well...
Aim assist?
Oh.
There is no dynamic aim assist.
Everyone shoots straight.
What's the difference?
Just feels stickier.
Again, it's a response curve. It's insane how many untrue controller ideas there are out there. Some actual brain rot I just have to clear up. 4,700 hours of aim training on a controller. A important video where we will be going over myths about controllers that you need to stop believing it is hindering you. Starting with, a controller needs aim assist. That's not true. This was still back when I was on this old PS5 controller. PXN clears it now. Didn't know I got to Diamond 1. I think I actually peaked at Diamond 2, all on a controller. Max cents, max ADS cents. Not too long ago, I also hopped on Overwatch. We played 300 games. I had never played Overwatch before, at least not too much. Peaked at Plat 5. Again, controller, no aim assist, and this was versus MNK players. Average Overwatch 2 rank is in Plat. And so again, think what this means, bro. I am aiming with my thumb against mouse and keyboard players on a game that I've never really played before and getting into the average rank. And it's still a common idea that, hey, yo, a controller, your thumb needs aim assist. It just has to be that way. And you may think it's easy for me to say that. I put in all of this time to get good, just aiming on my thumb. For myth number 2, a common thing that I hear is that a controller to get good without aim assist would just simply take too much time. Now, why this is a myth is because more now than ever, there is so many resources to improve your aim. You got Kovacs, Aim Beast, you even have Aim Labs if you want a free aim trainer. Not only that, so much aim content has come out in the last couple of years. People forget that Kovacs only came out in 2018. I remember getting into aim training in 2020, and there was still like such a little amount of just information out there even at that time, although it was a lot better than I imagined like 2 years back. Would have been nothing. The only time I could imagine an argument for a controller truly needing aim assist is maybe back in just the strict console days when COD was only on console. Back in the day when people were playing on Xbox 360s with 360 controllers and PS4 controllers. Since then, bro, look how many controllers have come out. Not only that, I am personally willing to spend hundreds, thousands of dollars on a controller. This PXN is the one that I use every single day. P5 8K, this thing is 45 bucks right now. The best controller out on the market. Highest stick resolution. And so I have heard people say, but bro, for the casual, for the average controller player, how are they going to get used to no aim assist? I mean, for one, Rainbow Six Siege have already done it. They're doing it right now. And on top of that, something that I have not heard people bring up at all, a controller and aiming on your thumb has had aim assist for the past, decade plus. The amount of time, and this is gonna sound crazy, that people have been held back by aim assist overall, even for the average player, has been a decade plus. For a decade plus, people have not been aiming for themselves. And so when I hear, but the average player would not be able to get used to no aim assist, it's just not true. People on average, year after year, get better and better and better, just like anything else. I'm not saying just to take aim assist straight away, take it off, turn it off right now. No one else has it. But I guarantee if you just kept decreasing it year after year, and then 1 year, it was just completely gone, people would get used to it. And also, yo, who's listening to average casual players that hop on like on the weekends to play, to make the game and the rules that people follow? It's a myth. But once upon a time, a crazy guy came around, and that is me. More than ever, we have finally got controller, no aim assist, aiming with just your thumb content. Stuff like this is not going to be found anywhere else. Which is why on this video, you gotta drop a like and subscribe, man. I've dedicated my life to putting out content like this, getting people good on aiming with the controller. No assistance. But seriously, bro, like no one's making content like this. For any of these videos, go and try to find a video of how to get better. You're gonna hear COD pros practice centering in a private match. You're not gonna hear any of them bring up pop in an aim trainer and break down your issues and and the like technique of flicking or tracking. It's not gonna happen. I feel like it's worth mentioning that this next myth is more of an opinion, but I still see people bring it up. Even if someone knows everything I've done that I can do on a controller, there's people that would say that a controller should have aim assist. Now, most of the time, they just don't know what they're talking about. Like for one, this PXN P5 8K, still, it's been a couple months since I have come across this controller. Stick resolution being this high and not seeing people talk about it. It is so insane to me how much aim assist has actually clouded people's vision on what not only a controller could be, but also what it should be. Now listen, don't get me wrong, bro. I want a low latency controller 100%. Everything on this PXN setting is pretty garbage, except for the analog sticks. I dropped like $300+ on this Max, like literal digital click everything triggers, lovely back buttons. These are so nice to press. And I don't use this thing. The idea going around in the community that a controller should have aim assist is holding back aim assist, or is holding back controllers. And I think part of why this myth goes around, as crazy as it sounds, is because people are not using a controller. When you go and you play a game with a controller, you're not using the controller. Now, what I mean is, this makes me sick to talk about. A very good video that goes across all of this. Call of Duty. You know, my favorite game, even though this is Modern Warfare 2. For one, these dead zones are not the true dead zones of a controller. You think you plug in a controller, you go to change the settings, you want to change your dead zone, the time or how much you push your stick in, and then how much you push your stick to when it moves in game. Again, dead zone, not true. Don't tell me the max dead zone's not real either. By the way, I never looked at this. The max dead zone's not real either. Are you kidding? The max dead zone's not real. Oh my god. It's not real either? Okay, no, at least it says it there. Okay, cool. It's like max inner. Can't talk about this much because it makes me a sick. Linear curve is not linear. Plug in a controller. Yo, I'm using my controller to play video games. Let me put on the linear curve. It's not a real linear. Here's what Scumple's talking about. Dynamic curve. It's also, oh my god, I can't look at this, man. On top of all of that, you think you go and you're pushing your analog stick, aiming in your FPS game, in the game you play, Call of Duty. Bro, the vertical sense is not as fast as the horizontal sense. It can say the exact same numbers, it's not the same. You're pushing, you're making the movements, right? In real life, in reality, making the movements on the controller. That's not what's happening in game. You're not using the controller, man. Alright, I don't know if this is console or what. Console Overwatch having aim assist is also insane to me. I bring up Overwatch because of the fact that this game, PC Overwatch, somehow has had, of any game that I've touched, the greatest controller settings. Okay, so this is console because it says aim assist ease in. On PC Overwatch, there's just no aim assist, so it doesn't have that. Make aiming easier, hooray! Let's limit ourselves. I gotta be nice, man. Rainbow Six Siege had the worst controller settings I have ever touched in my life. I deleted this game off of my PC, played for a couple of weeks. I would never touch this again. Again, when I say you are not using a controller, that sounds weird to say, but the fact that you cannot change your response curve in Rainbow Six Siege, like you can be holding the controller halfway point, and because you can't change response curve, bro, it's up there for your imagination. Let's just imagine what it's going to be doing in game. And then he goes to talk about aim smoothing. Now, all of that is not as important or as big of a myth to talk about is the mental cap that all of this does to the average person, or even someone like you that actually wants to get better. All of the things I've talked about so far, and having that spread like to the average community of controller players, limit you. If there was someone better than me when I started, or before I started all of this controller stuff, I would have wanted to get better than that person. I was happy to hop on Rainbow Six Siege because I thought it was going to be a game of controller players that like studied aim, that put a bunch of time into thinking about aiming. Now, funny enough, Rainbow Six Siege has the best like in-game training tools, the best firing range, especially compared to COD's firing range, out of any game, and it's really cool to see that. On top of that, controller players, because of R6 and its one-shot headshot, has developed people with really good static clicking capabilities. You go and play Rainbow Six Siege, even with the horrific settings it has, you play it for a while, you are just going to get pretty good at clicking. Something that even in Kovacs, I have 4,700 hours on, is static clicking is still a pretty weak spot of mine. But the next myth I hear a lot of people say, well, if controller did not have aim assist, then mouse and keyboard would just dominate. Now, this is a pretty controversial take. It's something I've said before, but I genuinely believe if from day one, whatever controller game was out there decades and decades back, if aim assist was never implemented, I think mouse and keyboard and controller aim capabilities of the average person would be about equal. Now, why do you say this, Kai? That is a pretty crazy thing to say. Mouse and keyboards equal? This is not even planned. All existing scenarios, there's like thousands of scenarios in this. Let's move my camera so we can see the percentiles. Legit just random. Okay, ground plaza as a tracking scenario. Get a click play. It's not going to be ground plaza. Static, weak, yes. Air nuns, okay, I am 0 for 2. 73 doesn't count, even though there are strays in that. 80th percentile. This is target switching, 45th percentile. Got this from the video. 2023, yo. Okay. This is not looking good on me. Air, 37th, back in March. 360D, these are all horrible examples. I mean, Leap 180, bro, I'm getting better scores than clicking against mouse and keyboard players. Like 93rd percentile, I'm top 1,000 on this? What What in the world happened? What is going on here? In 8.9 percentile, almost 50th percentile, while tracking past you, 30th percentile. It's like the opposite of everything I thought it was going to be. All right, well, flop aside, M&K does have its benefits. You can just go faster, moving your mouse and whole arm around. What a lot of people don't know though is controller also has its insane benefit. There's a reason why I can go and hop on any of scenarios like this. I'm still on this old garbage PS5 controller. These scenarios are called centering scenarios, where there is just no strafes. It is simply one direction and then another direction. I can get rank 1 in any of these scenarios against players that are insane. People that only focus on scenarios like this. They try to be as smooth as humanly possible. All of these people in any other category are also just simply insane. But the fact that I think I got all of these scores in like less than like 6 hours, I think it was like 4 or 5 hours. I can just get rank 1. I was also disqualified. They had taken me off of the leaderboards from this. Controller just has its benefits, just like mouse and keyboard also has its benefits over controller. Put it together, average it out, it would be about equal. Speaking about smooth tracking, it brings us to a weird opportunity for controllers, something that I think I have to develop because it can be quite crazy. That is a perfect example. Let's use that. Ouch. Because controllers can be incredibly or perfect pixel tracking on scenarios like I showed before, it also means that anytime that a smooth tracking is just going in one direction, if it ever pops up, like in moments like this, I could technically, aside from just the reaction time and missing a few shots, these shots could technically be perfectly on target. Comes up in literally every single gunfight you will get into. A lot of them, they are just too quick to react to, but if it is moving in one direction, a controller can technically track it perfectly. So it's going to be a really interesting feature, even when it comes to more reactive type aiming moments, that if I can just get that smooth tracking down, even reactive moments, it's going to look like probably the closest thing to aimbot, because I just have to hold my thumb on the analog stick at a certain point. So again, please, bro.
Isolated these members of the Seattle.
I mean, ever since Dynamic came into Call of Duty,
Ever since Dynamic, it's a linear curve. Can we please, after everything, after all the time I have put into, yo, it is not dynamic, it is not a response curve. It would sicken me if response curves got GA'd from competitive COD. Bro, it is aim assist. It is rotational aim assist. It is aim assist. None of you need it. No controller player needs it. Scump, Hex, any of these people, nobody needs it.
What's the difference?
So far, so good.
just feels stickier.
Does not feel stickier. It is just the aim assist. There is one aim assist type. It is important you know this, because with those myths out of the way, you can now actually begin to get better. You can begin training. You can find ways to improve. But if you want a shortcut, hit me up on Twitter. I've opened up coaching. We're gonna get you shooting straight.